what makes you believe that in an industry where 80 to 90% of people fail, you, out of all these people, are just the one that's going to find their profitable system within a week and within a month? Quick disclaimer, these videos are meant for educational purposes only. Anything said or shown in any of these videos are personal opinion and my perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, so anything done is your responsibility. You know, he sent me his data curve of his profitability and asked me, where's he going wrong? What is he doing that, you know, what is happening? Is he losing, right? Because we saw something like this, right? I said he had a good up move, something like this, and then he was at this point, right? Actually, not even like that. It was more like up move, right? And then something like this. And as we looked at this, a lot of you said there actually might be an issue here, if you guys remember this. So for people that weren't here, I drew this curve out and asked people if there was an issue with this curve, or if what the person was doing is wrong or considered unprofitable. And some people, even though some people said no, not at all, some people also said, yeah, there's an issue here. Somewhat, he might be over leveraging, he might be, you know, over trading, because he's losing more money than he was making, right? And then what we did is we basically took this and then said, okay, well, if this is the case, you know, imagine this over time, right? So we made this a little smaller, we did this, right? We then just added, we basically just did this to it, right? And then we just added a few of them, right? And then I asked you guys again, is this system still unprofitable, or is there an issue with the system? And then a lot of people started to shift their perspective on that, changing their mind on it, and said, oh, it's actually, you know, it looks like it's fine. Right, so that was just the main thing we spoke about last webinar. I suggest you check that out so you have a better grounding of it after this one. But I wanted to actually show you it live because I finally found the guy I was talking to, because I lost the name because I get a lot of DMs a day. But here was his curve. So this is the curve he sent me. Now, it's not as bad as what I drew, but just looking at this, you know, there is a good reason as to why he would speculate that something is going wrong, right? We can clearly see very, very clear upwards momentum in this overall profitability of the individual, right? And then all of a sudden, there really is a very, very large point in drawdown, right? Like, we're talking a very large one. Like this is bigger than anything he's ever experienced before, right? So I jumped on him with a one-on-one, and we spoke about this for a while, and I did the same thing for him where I copy-pasted it a few times, you know, like we played through it. We said, okay, well, if this is the case, right, let's consider what's actually going on here, right? So then what I basically did is I basically drew this out, right? Same thing, nothing crazy, just drew it out normally, and then all I said was, okay, let's consider this. Let's go ahead and look at this. Right, this is all I did basically to start with. Like, we did a little more talking, but at this point, does the system look profitable, or do you guys still think that you know, drawdown was scary, or that drawdown is bad, right? Is the system profitable? And yes, I am recording, by the way, for the guy that just asked. Did his risk management change following some good results? See, so there's the thing again, right? A lot of people, even though this is normal, think that something wrong happened, right? Like even you, Martin, right here, you're literally, you're trying to find an excuse for why this is happening, rather than accepting that there's a mathematical edge to trading, right? There was this big drawdown that looked big at first, right? And now we want to, as humans, give any reasoning as to why that happened, so that we never experience it again, because it's hard to experience a loss like that. But when you then look at it from a larger base perspective, you realize it's just a joke, right? What's the reason for that fall? The reason is mathematical edge. Edge and profitability in trading comes from an accumulation of losses, wins, and break-evens. And that accumulation of wins, losses, and break-evens happens at a distribution rate that you can't predict. What that means is oftentimes, so what you see right here, price is going to fall within a distribution curve that's within this 68%. So it's going to be normal. It's going to feel normal. Now, sometimes what's going to happen is at the very limits, at the very like 1% chances, or up to like 10%, something like that, right? You're going to have times where losses are so big that it looks like a system is failing. That's this portion of an edge taking effect. Similarly, you're going to have times in an edge where you experience this side, which is going to look like what? Well, let me show you, right? So what is that other side of the edge going to look like? Just like you can have large losses, right? Let me do the same thing right here really quickly for you guys. Just like you're going to have those large losses, you're also going to have insane wins. Now imagine this next curve, so let's make it blue, let's make it smaller, did this, right? That is very, very good. Now that, what's happening is within this probability distribution, right, the normal wins and losses are within here. then sometimes you're going to experience this right here, which is this bigger loss. And sometimes you're going to experience the very outer boundary of this, which is this huge win. Now, what's interesting is if we plot what I like to call the line of average fit to this curve, right? Something like this. You can see this is the curve, which means that because we experienced a area of this, which is this high thing, we need to return to the base, which means there's a good chance that you could even have a loss streak that now does this. Okay? And this system is still profitable. Now, it's going to be hard and terrifying to experience this because this is going to be a larger drawdown or a larger loss scenario than you've ever had in your life, right? This was the largest you had before, and already some people thought this was a problem. Now this is going to be another one. And then what again, right? Then it can return to normal, right? So let me get rid of this right here. Right, so some people are going to experience this and just think that, you know, their system is over. There's no way they can keep trading it, right? It's broken. But in reality, is the line of average fit still going up? Yes, right? And guess what? Now you can have something like this. You could even have some more time down here as it finds its bearing back at this line of average. Then you could even have a bigger loss away from it, which results in, remember, here's a probability curve. You might be experiencing this zone right here, right? And then once again, back to normal, right? And once again, if we take this line of average best fit and just keep drawing it, has it changed? Has this line of average changed? No, right? All that's changed is that the account has grown and compounded over time, and therefore, these line of averages or statistics in math are going to affect you on both sides of the market over and over and over again. And your job as a trader is to allow this math right here to play out over time rather than allow moments like these or moments like these, or moments like these where maybe it's even in a consolidation for a long time, to basically end up stopping you from trading or blowing your account or giving up. Because a lot of people do that. They see a loss like this, right? And they think there's no way they're getting back to their original balance, right? I've seen people on FTMOs lose 5% and go, that's it, I'm fucked, I gotta redo it. When in reality, if their system is something that's a higher R system, you know, 1 win, 2 wins, or even a follow-up of 1 to 2 wins could put them not only in profit, but completely past their challenge, right? There's a lot that goes into the mathematical side of trading. So, you know, we look at this, and again, now it looks, you know, this looks terrifying. A lot of you might be even saying something about it. I'll read in a second. But guess what's so interesting? Let's take this exact same thing very quickly, right here, okay? Let's delete everything. Here we go. Once again, let me make this smaller. And let me say, you know, I'm a fund, and I come to you, or no, you're a fund. I come to you and I say, hey, here's my line. Here's my profit line. Are you going to look at this and say, get the fuck out of my office, I don't want to fund you? Or are you going to say, holy shit, I need to get this person working for me? Okay? Just think about what this looks like, right? We can keep going and doing this over and over again. Like I did this last week as well, just to show you guys. But consider this, right? Here we go. Is this a profitable system, guys? Yes, yeah, it is, right? Yes, of course it is. Sure. No, like no shit. Yes, this is 100% a profitable system. Do those big losses that we just looked at a second ago affect this system at all? Nope. All right. Phenomenal, right? So that's what I need you guys to recognize. Now, back to the same example. The student, and this is just to show you a real life example of it, because some people don't understand that this is like real and it happens every single to every single profitable trader. Okay, so we're gonna just go back here. So back to the normal student. Here was his curve. Okay, this is the same thing we started with. Here's that larger drawdown. I told him to keep going and see what happens. You guys want to see what happened a few weeks later? After testing? I'm sure you guys do. Ready? Here's what happened a few weeks later. Remember this? Not even rocket. This is why it's so good. Let's paste it. Look what happened. Here's that down move. Guess what? The client continued to go and approach this line of best average, right? And even get under it. Look at this. The drawdown didn't just happen from here to here. It even happened lower. And it consolidated. You guys want to see what happened in the next few weeks? Here's that line. Price is now at new highs. Right? So notice how, because the client, or our member, experienced a drawdown he's never experienced before, he was ready to kind of throw in the towel or be like, what's going on with my system? Is my system breaking? Is my system doing something wrong? To which I have to say, keep fucking going. He kept going. Guess what? It kept losing. It kept consolidating. It kept technically going into more and more drawdown. I said what? Keep going. The system, under what I see as an average, is very, very profitable. And now he's at new highs. And guess what? It might catch up now and go even higher, right? You have to let the time element play out. And as funny as it is, this element of time playing out for a system is the exact same thing for people that are learning to trade as well. That goes for any of you that are new. I was thinking about this myself a little bit, just for a little bit of a final psychological point before we get into the actual outlooks and my own breakdown of what happened last week. A lot of people get into this market, and everybody understands the statistics of this market, right? They know that on average, 80% to 90% of traders fail completely in this market. 80 to 90%, right? 80 to 90 completely fail. About 10% to 20% succeed, and about 5% of those people end up in the very high ends, okay? We all know that. Now, what's funny is despite knowing that, people will spend a week learning, a month learning, 2 months learning, and then go ahead and message, whether it be their mentor, me, or anyone else, or even quit along the way, and they'll go, hey, this just isn't working for me. I keep finding losses. I don't know what's happening. I don't think I can do this. Where am I going wrong? And my answer, the easiest answer is more time. But to break that answer down, the answer is really, what makes you believe that in an industry where 80 to 90% of people fail, you, out of all these people, are just the one that's going to find their profitable system within a week and within a month, right? It doesn't happen that way. That's not how this is built. You know the statistics of it. So put in that time if you want to reap the benefits of it, right? Trading isn't a thing like a normal job where you put in some time, you get some reward, and you put in more time, you get more reward, and you do it over time and you get more reward. Trading is more like you put in the time, you don't get rewarded for anything until that tipping point happens. Because trading literally forces you to learn every element of it, right? To work its job, to be an intern for no pay, literally, for years if anything, before you go, oh, this is how I make money. You guys understand that? The industry is unforgiving. And as someone that understands the statistical element behind it, which is if 80 to 90% fail, what makes you think your week of being in the course, a month of being in the course, is enough to be at that level where, yeah, I'm ready to use a skill that can make me millions of dollars right now? Right? The reality is, once you make money trading, or you know how to make money trading, you can and will make millions. Until then, you really are just going to be either break even or losing. You guys understand that? So, I as a mentor, don't mind telling you this because, I don't need people to join this mentorship. I love it that we have the community we do here, but the reality is, I'm more against it because I know most people won't put in that work and it's going to be just time wasted, right? And a lot of people will then blame whoever it is except for themselves, right? So, just again, I'm not mad at anyone, by the way. I know I might be screaming, but just on that psychological end, recognize that, you are very selfish if you believe that putting in, a week of good work or a month of good work is enough to hit that level where, quote unquote, you can make millions. Because the reality of trading is, if you already have that profitable system, you are within the skill set to make millions, right? And if you're not in that, that means you still need to improve, which means time needs to be put in. Who hurt you, Anton? Yeah. No one hurt me. It's just, it's as we grow, we're going to have more people that join that are more on that end of, hey, I'm here. Why am I not profitable? Right? And sometimes you need to break that down for them in little, what do you call it? In little speeches like this one, because they need to recognize that, you're not working a job where you can work your way up the ladder, right? You're basically working as an intern until you become CEO. That's really what it looks like. You're an intern that gets paid nothing until you're CEO, at which point you need to manage everything. That's what trading is, right? You are an intern and you're working as an intern as the janitor, as the secretary, as the risk manager, as everything else that is under a job until you become CEO, basically, right? And you're getting paid nothing for it. That's how you have to think about this, okay? It's a gruesome industry. It's a very easy industry to make money in once you get to that point. It's probably one of the best ones in the world where you can make, absurd amounts of money very easily. But, to get to that point where it becomes quote unquote easy, you have to go through a lot. And I mean a lot. This trader is at 1,000 trades right now, just on this system, right? And, he was at when he asked me about his mistake, it was at 721 trades. He's at 721 trades in a system that he's been testing, right? I don't even want to know how much how much systems he tested before this one, right? Recognize this system looks good now. Can you guys imagine how many other systems he might have tested before this that, did nothing? Over 700, 1,000 trades literally did nothing. That's part of it, right? Recognizing that even this, just on the testing end, might not hit instantly. And he's 1,000 trades in, or was 700 trades in, and was already doubting the system. So what makes you think that, no journal trades, not even 100 journal trades, just section 1 to 3 is enough to take you from, working potentially your 9 to 5 to being funded with a firm, right? It's a very weird way that we like to think, and it's a step up that will not occur unless you put in that time. All right, and so let's get into it now. All right. Hey, how's it going, guys? I hope you enjoyed the video. I just want to show you very quickly what I've made available in my chat. In my description below. The link is there if you want this. Otherwise, you do not need it whatsoever, but it is a trade manager I had coded. And here it is right here. Absolutely beautiful, very simple. You have market orders, stop orders, or limit orders, right? So we're just gonna do a limit. You have risk percent, risk dollar amount, or specific lot size for your entries. Let's say this is the market you're trading. All you do is press on, or you can use hotkeys and just use the actual hotkeys that you have set. So we'll click on or use the hotkey. And then let's say you wanna buy this last down move before the up move. All you have to do is click where you want it to enter, drag down to where you want your stop loss, and let go. And as you can see, it will enter properly with the proper risk size, and you can see there you go. It is risked at $2,186 as a loss, which is 0.5% of this. Similarly, if we delete this very quickly, or you could just press close all, right? Or you can use hotkeys. You can also click on use risk dollars, and let's say you want to risk, $150 on any trade. So let's say you have this on, and you see price here, and you want to sell, let's say this high or this wick, right? You just drag up, have your stop right there, let go, and just like that, you can see sell limit for 13 lots. Let's look at the stop loss. There you go, $150, just like it said right here. Then you can also press your hotkey to close it, just like this. Boom, everything is closed. Similarly, you can click on market order, and then you can again risk dollars in, let's make it 250 just to show you this, right? Then you press on. Now let's say you're watching this and this was your break of structure and you want to sell instantly. You can just press where you want your stop loss, just like that. And there you go, your entry enters with proper lot size, proper calculation, and once again, enters with a proper dollar amount. You can also factor spread for it to do your limits properly. So if there's a little bit of so let me show you really quickly. So if we go to GJ, you can see there is a little bit of a gap in terms of spread. All you do is, let's say you want to limit order, you press limit, you press on, or you tap your hotkey, boom, right? Oh, sorry, hotkey, you press boom, and let's make risk dollars, let's make it 500, right? You press on, boom, and then let's say you wanted to buy this new down move. Watch very closely as I go from here to here. Now watch as I let go. That's where it would be if you just did it normally. Now let's say we click on factor spread. Same thing. Watch as I go from here to here and let go. Ready? Boom. It increases it a little bit higher to account for the fact that there is spread. So now price will still tap you in when it hits this. And at the same time, you can see the stop loss on this. If we highlight it, $500, just like you specified. And going forward, as we continue to update this, and this has already been added, let's say you are in a trade, so let's cancel everything. Let's press X or just close all, which you can change, by the way, in the menu, right? Let's say you do a market, you press on, let's say you buy right now, or let's go to EU right here, right? Let's go enable hotkeys, all is good, right? Market order, let's make it a risk dollars of 500, very easy, press on. Let's say you want to buy this right now, we'll click right here, boom, now you're in a buy, right? 387, SL's here, you hover the SL, $500, very nice. And then let's say you have a higher time frame and you're looking at it and you're about to go to sleep, you can type in 109845, whatever it is, whatever you want, it'll come up. You can drag this wherever you want. Let's say your first partial is this high, or let's say up here. That's my first partial, 50% goes off, and that's it. Now you go to the next one, 1.09875, right? There it is. You can drag it a little bit higher, and then let's say I want to close my entire position there, so 100%. And then all you do is you press partials on and you walk away. And now as price comes and hits these levels, it will close these portions of the trade. So it'll close 50% here and close 100% here. And you can do this and play around with it as you go. You can also have, let's just delete everything. So let's partials off. Let's delete these. Yep, let's just press X to close everything, just like that. Let's delete all this. You can also have this delete on new order. So let's say you're just following the orders. You can go, I want to have a limit here. But then you want to limit here, right? You can see it'll just delete and place. Maybe you want a better limit entry. Boom, you keep following it. Boom, you keep following it. and there you go, and you're in the trade, right? And then as price starts going, maybe you are unsure and you want to close 50%, you can click this. Ready? Watch this size. Close 50. Boom. Closes 50% there. Or you can have a hotkey for it. So I'm going to press C on my keyboard right now. Ready? Watch this number. Oops. I actually have it on Z actually. Sorry, my bad. Z. Boom. There you go. Closes that. Or you can just press break even now at B. So we're going to press B. Boom. Just like that. It'll break you even. Or you can just press X and boom, everything is closed. So if you want this, it's in the description. Otherwise, you don't need it. Continue trading the way you trade. No problem at all. Anything works. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate you a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video.